I'll just talk a bit about sort of who we are and what we try and do here. Well, Jan and I both grew up on farms. I grew up on the one next door. Jan's from Trundle. Holistic management principles is sort of what we do here. The key piece for us here is having an holistic goal. It sets out the quality of life we want to live, and then what we need to have in place to do that. And if you're managing land, how it's to look and work in the future. Cattle, and we move them on average once a week. So that's why it takes about an hour a day to run. We've done the courses, we've learnt the stuff that you're supposed to have the knowledge to do it better. And a really valuable course we did was low stress stock handling. And I would actually recommend that any human does it as well. We then let the grass grow, and we end up with a canopy across the farm about that high of all native grasses. That kicked off the plovers, because that's not the habitat they like, but what came in their place was quails in massive numbers. And then the raptors come up, so all your hawks and stuff.
My 6 pet sheep, they were in the middle of the paddock there, and I looked up from the clothes, I was getting clothes at mine, and they were watching. And then all of a sudden they sort of used them, lambs and beeping and dogs were carrying on, and then I looked up again and they removed themselves to the farthest corner of the paddock to think, I just need to get right away from there. It was really interesting that that's the reaction they had, because we don't do that at all.
Comes down there, across there to that tank. If this thing ran flat out all day, it would probably be about 12,000 litres. One of the CSIRO blokes redesigned the merino sheep. So they've stripped the skin back to about 1 millimetre. They've taken out all the wrinkles, which means it doesn't catch. Very little wool down there. So they, in some ways you could argue they have less wool, but they're multi-purpose. Yeah, so this is Lister motors, been around forever. About 98% of all motors that are sold are Lister. Use these as wool bins, so as they're shearing the sheep, the fleece goes on there, gets skirted, the classer then decides the quality. The main line then goes straight into the wool press, which is normally there.
He's an electrician. He fits panels and...
Cool, okay, well you...
No. Yeah, it needs a few things adjusted.
Diesel backup generator, that comes in when the batteries get to 60%, and it will lift the voltage in the batteries by 20% in about 2 hours.
That's certainly quite out here.
There you go, the 2 mugs with the...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So who was the rare?
Randall. You rare, are you? Yeah, your first cab off the range.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's
That people?
Oh, I told you. See how it's on, we get you. Oh, you. That's really happy. Yep. That's just if you're going to have enough.
These artefacts came off this place and the next door neighbour's place. Sue Hudson, she's a really good friend of mine that's an Aboriginal archaeologist, so we had a whole bunch of stuff, and she came down here one day and she sorted it all out for me. But as she'd go through them, she'd tell me how it was made, or in some cases she knew where the stone came from, because a lot of this stuff comes from any part of Australia. So there's all sorts of trade routes around the place. There's like a chipped centre in that. That was actually some form of anvil. So they would have that on the ground. And let's say they wanted to make that into some sort of a cutting knife. They would have another rock where they would do that with it. And then this would be something that they'd use to grind like that. But it was quite literally a pick used for farming. And some type of lily they used to actually dig the soil and plant the things.
we're home.